Well, it's been a while since I've done one of these, hasn't it? Well, lately I've been thinking a lot about myself and a lot of the people I know, and I've been noticing that there's this theme that we all have where we just have these very strong self-destructive tendencies, and I guess it just got me wondering just why do we choose the most painful things to occupy our lives? And I'm not talking about the more physical stuff like alcohol or smoking or even arguably gambling, because those are all comforts in their own way, and it can be used as an escape from the reality we all wish we can shun. No, I'm talking about the emotional pains. The ones we stick out for really no apparent reason whatsoever. The unrequited loves, the abusive relationships, the old grudges, and the painful past, just to name a few examples I can think of off the top of my head. Why do we subject ourselves to these little tortures when it's so obvious that they're slowly killing us? And make no mistake, more often than not, we know that it's killing us. We're not blind to it. We are very well aware. We know it's killing us. It might as well be alcohol, because no matter how aware we are of how bad it is for us and at a physical or emotional level, we're still going to chug it anyway. So if we know, then why? Why do we do it to ourselves? Why do we continuously subject ourselves to this pointless pain? Is it fear? Is that it? Is that why we tough it out? Is that why we stick with it? Are we afraid that if we let go of that stupid crush that we won't find anyone else worth loving? If we get out of that bad relationship, are we afraid we're never gonna find love again or be loved ever again? Is it terrifying to let go of the past because then we have to start looking towards the future? It's possible. And I feel like it's a large part of it. But I feel like there's another piece of the puzzle missing, namely that I just described fear of letting go of something that's bad for you, but if we're afraid, then why do we start it to begin with? Well, I can't say for certain, but I have a theory, and I want you to bear with me on this. I think it's the emptiness that causes us to fall into these comfortable little pain traps. Let me explain. Somewhere down the road, we run into an experience that scars us, that damages us, that leaves us vulnerable. And, for lack of a better way of phrasing it, leaves what feels like a big gaping hole inside of our hearts, inside of our souls. And it just feels like that needs to be filled up with just something. So when this happens, we scramble around everywhere, just looking for something anywhere, anything that's gonna fit into that hole that we just created. Oh, look, here's religion! Well, this helps a little bit, but it doesn't seem to work as well for me as it does for others. Why is that? Now I just feel worse. Oh, how about love? But I can't wait for love. That's rare and confusing. And what if I can't find it anywhere? I can't wait for that. This void needs to be filled now. But you know what the world is full of, though? Pain. And we look around at all this pain and go, oh my god, look at all this pain everywhere. I can easily fill the void with that. I'm gonna wrap myself up in this pain. I'm gonna shove all this pain in a pillowcase and use it to help me sleep. I'm gonna carry this pain around with me like a security blanket. Pain is a security blanket. I admit I was kind of proud of myself when I came up with that little comparison. But even if it sounds silly, and I admit it kind of does, there's still some truth to it, though, too, isn't there? We drag it along with us everywhere, to every family gathering, to every social event. We hold it tight when we're alone, and we snuggle with it closely to our bodies or our faces when we're going to sleep. And when people look at us with our little security blankets dragging around behind us and gathering dirt and dust and all these kind of nasty little things, they look at us all puzzled and go, why are you carrying that filthy thing around? You don't need it. And you look puzzled right back. You look them right smack dab in the eye and you think, well, you just don't understand. I can't explain why, but I need this. It makes me feel safe and secure in myself, and I just feel like I can't go on without it. That's the funny thing about pain, isn't it? How safe it can feel. How comfortable it gets. Because sometimes when we experience a different kind of pain for the first time, it can feel like being stabbed in a weird way. Maybe it's that stab that creates the void I was talking about earlier. And the more we immerse ourselves in the pain, the harder it seems to hit. The less likely are we to feel that stabbing feeling again. And the more we immerse ourselves in that level of pain, the less significant that stabbing sensation feels. Because at that point, we just get used to it. So, we choose to carry around our little security blankets, afraid that if we let it go, then we can leave ourselves open to feel that stabbing again. And even just saying that out loud, I admit it scares the hell out of me. It scares the hell out of a lot of us. But by holding on to that blanket, we also rob ourselves of something incredibly special that can fill that void in a lot of exciting and beautiful ways. Mostly you rob yourself of the opportunity to find something that brings you joy and passion and just general happiness, and yes, it's harder to find than just pain, but it would be such a shame that the fear of that stabbing pain would stop any of us from at least trying to seek it out. It can be hard. It can involve a lot of looking and a lot of failing, but it's better to try and try as often as it takes until you find something, anything, that leads to some form of fulfillment. I don't know how long it takes, but I refuse to stop trying. You know, it's actually funny. I keep talking about security blankets and all that, and then I've yet to even mention that I actually used to have one. Actually, I think I do still have it. It's it's this guy right here. Pretty old thing. But I used to go to bed with this guy every night, and Mary used to drag it around me everywhere. I used to actually used to put my head through one of the holes here and pretend like I was a superhero and stuff like that. But I remember one morning when I was in bed, I was holding this guy, and I remember I woke up the next morning and I looked over and I couldn't find the blanket anywhere. I started to panic a little bit, and then I noticed that the blanket was all the way like on the bottom corner of the bed. And I realized I must have kicked it away while I was sleeping, and the thought occurred to me that if I kicked it away while I was sleeping, then I clearly don't need this to actually help me sleep. And from that point on, I just stopped. I just stopped using the blanket. I just let it go. I was able to sleep by myself after that. Maybe we can all do the same thing with the things that bring us pain. And I hope you will join me as I try to let go of the same things. Try to let go of my little scary blanket. So what do you think? What fills the void for you? What's your security blanket?